Oh, okay, let me
Oh.
get, thank you.
Okay.
Don't mess me up.
I'm sorry.
So
I
we-
thought you were thinking.
Yeah. Okay,
Present.
Present.
No.
We
We have to
say,
say the names because they
Yeah.
can't see everybody.
yeah,
So Bob Harris,
Yeah.
Chair,
yep,
Dieta Moran, Vice Chair.
Christopher
alternate.
Borden
Borden,
is present.
or present.
Andrea Souza,
Andrea Souza, Democrat, alternate, present.
Paul Amaral. Okay, so all our members and our alternate members are all present tonight.
Okay, we went down and we done to conduct the financial town referendum. That was at the beginning of the meeting before we adjourned. I mean, you know, whatever.
Recess, yeah.
Yeah. And we done the general election, the update. Yep.
It's been going on all day. The polls will close at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Kelly Levesque, the town sergeant, called, and she is going to meet Jeannie Spencer at the high school to verify the closure.
Okay,
And she's going to meet up there, I suppose, up there already at 7:45. So we
Okay.
will have to wait for that. I haven't had any issues or complaints or calls or people coming to the town hall. I haven't, we didn't have any, did you, Kathy?
No.
No. So it's been a quiet day and we haven't had any complaints.
Yeah.
Let me make sure you're on. No, that's okay. Let me make sure you're, oh, that's Andrew's recording. Thank you, Andrew.
Trying to
Okay,
figure out how to connect
that's
here.
just letting you know that Andrew's recording.
okay.
If you go to the email and click the link, it'll take you right to it.
So if I just do this,
Yep,
fine.
as long as you have it downloaded on your phone.
So while we're waiting for
And then just sign
the
in
polls
with
to
this.
close,
Okay.
Yeah.
I should tell you that we have, for the FTR, we had sent out 106. Can you hear me from this though? Yes.
Oh, I can just
Okay.
hear you from there.
We
No.
sent out 106 mail ballot applications. And we received 84 ballots back. So those ballots are being prepared as soon as we catch up to this. They'll be opened, put face down, or the canvas will enter it into a separate DS 200 so we can have the breakdown on it. And Kathy and Jeannie have got that all set up.
No, we just signed a certification of the general election mail ballot application.
We had this morning, when you met at 6:30, you signed 27 mail ballot applications for the November election. So this morning you did 27. And right now we have another 149 that we just didn't bring out this morning. I only
Yeah.
brought one batch. So this other 149, you can make a motion to certify because you're signing on them now.
Yes.
I make a motion that we certify the last of the mail ballot applications for the general election, total
149.
149.
Okay, all those in favor? Unanimously.
And so for the November 3rd general election, in total, yeah, we're getting it echoed off, Chris,
Turn the volume down on your phone.
okay?
There we go.
In total, we have 2,351 mail ballot applications that we sent out,
2000 what?
351
Just come back,
Okay.
correct?
that have gone out,
Okay.
that have, yeah.
Okay,
that have been certified, I'm sorry, that have come in and been certified.
okay.
So, because I told you this morning, the state is sending in batches, And so you should have seen Diane's on a batch tonight.
I didn't notice it, but.
Yeah, but there was 149, so you might not have. Or it could be on Monday's batch, because these were already ready to certify this morning, but I only brought one pack.
I reviewed them all, so I didn't see hers, so it's probably.
Right. So today, you want the update on the November election while we're waiting for the polls to close?
Yes.
Yes, that'd be fine.
So today, we received an email, Christine and I, from Steve Taylor at the Board of Elections. Because the setup for what we had sent in to use for the polls, the Board of Election had some concern on. It's on my desk, let me get it.
Easy for them to say, huh?
Still room inside for.
I thought we said 4, but it was only 3 that she said today.
Huh.
She said only 3 today. I thought it was 4 this morning.
What am I?
It was the high school, VFW, the Ranger School, and I thought there was another one. Nope,
High School Ranger, VFW.
VFW.
That's only 3.
That's, yeah, they said, I don't know, I thought it was
Yeah.
4.
I was on Zoom, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
And school is going well.
right, so it's the 3. It's
Well,
the
for this,
3. Right, yeah. Well, my cat has it up at like 5.
was able to get a.
Three, okay.
So is it all the pre? Okay.
The BOE didn't like
So
it.
they called today, they first emailed. And then Steve Taylor actually called. Steve Taylor is now the Specials Project Coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So we had suggested that District 1, 2, and 3
Yeah,
go to the VFW.
right,
4 and 5, Ranger.
right.
6 and 7,
High school.
high school. Now, some of those are used to being combined together in a primary. We're not combining, we're consolidating locations. But what they did at the Board of Elections is to take the number of voters in each poll, in each district.
Mhm.
And they do not want more than 6,000 in one location. And it was going to happen that if we put 1, 2, and 3 in VFW, we were going to have 6,772.
Okay.
That's over what they want. Now, we could have pushed it to do it, but it wouldn't make sense. Because as I was talking to them, I sent him back an email and said, but we've got 1,200 and some mail ballots out of that. We're going to have emergency voting. I think we're going to get it down to a manageable number.
Mhm.
Because the only thing I could have done for that is take 1, put it back at Picasset, and put 2 and 3 at VFW. But we're going to have trouble manning them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So as I was talking to him, and he was telling us his concerns, which is true. I mean, he had legitimate concerns that you're going to be over, you're not going to have enough poll workers, the line's going to back up. And once you back up,
Mhm.
you got a heck of a time trying to catch up. And I guess they had some issues with, I want to say Woonsocket and Pawtucket. They had issues with a couple of the cities that happening in the primary. We have never had that problem here, but we have never done this system before.
Right.
But your rationale is good too about all the mail ballots.
Well, I did. I sent him back
Yeah.
saying, and then he called me. He says, just want you to make sure we're gonna, if you think you're gonna be able to handle that. because there's different things they're doing with poll workers there too. There's a supervisor ballot. A supervisor who hands out the ballot, a different supervisor than the one that checks you in. So he explained that to me. And as he was explaining it, I kind of talked my way out of it. And I said, oh, I've got a meeting tonight. I could raise it. I am a little nervous even with, because that's how many mailed ballots. We did the breakdown, Christine did the breakdown, 1,222 from those 3 districts. So that would lower it under the 6,000. But it did concern me that there are positions running local. And when you factor the local positions, and there's 16 counselors running, and there's all different state ones, there's budget committee one, no, well, we don't have many on budget committee, but school committee ones, town clerk ones. And I started to worry that if you only have these, if you have these 3 polls, but one is over heavy, that's where these candidates may want to focus. And it's going to be a little bit of problem with parking and stuff.
Yeah.
So I told him I would get back to him. I was going to talk with the staff and then get to the Board of Canvas and try to think logistically how we could do this. My intent was that we would put as many as we could for poll workers at VFW to back up, to get more in there, to make it move faster. But then I thought, you're going to have a jam up outside. You got
Yeah,
too
the
many
parking lot,
candidates in a small area.
Yeah.
And the candidates don't run in primaries, so, because we're all nonpartisan, other than the state ones. But I mean, so it was gonna, I don't know that that's the best idea. He called me, I said, okay, I'm gonna think this through and I'll get back to you. And I let him know where I have an RFTR, so I'd be with the Board of Canvas tonight. It's not my decision, it's the board's. But here's what I thought of, and then he actually sent back and said it's an excellent idea. District 3 is this part, and it goes right up to the Fall River border here. And it comes all the way to Boogamosh Road. It's Stafford Road, but it comes all the way over here. So what I was thinking of, well, it doesn't go to Stafford, it goes this way. What I was thinking of is just doing 1 and 2 at VFW, therefore using less poll workers, using only 1 moderator and clerk, even though it's 2 different districts getting 2 different ballots. It's all, the state has worked out what I think is a great plan. And taking 3, because 4 and 5 are at Ranger, but 5 only has 464 eligible voters. And 66 of them have already sent me mail ballot applications.
Oh, okay.
And then 4 has 1,838. So combined, it was not that bad. So I thought if you use 3 at VFW, they have to go through Massachusetts to get back into VFW, to Rhode Island. So in other words, you're having them cross over. But not everybody's right there at Country View and Hancock. I mean, that goes down Stafford Road and all.
Yeah.
So instead of bringing them that way, I thought, why not bring 3 right here to Ranger School? They could either go down Eagleville and get there that way, or they could go across Stafford and get down that way. But it's a main point. It's where the high school is and then Ranger School. And if we put all 3 of those together, meaning 3, 4, and 5, they're 3 different districts with different reps and senators, but all your local people are the same, and a lot of,
Yeah.
well, that would only give us 3,700
In those-
approximately.
Okay,
And that is much more manageable and it will cut, it'll cut 1 and 2 down to 5271. And he thought that was great because it's under the 6,000. Plus we've got mail ballot applications out of that and we'll have emergency voting out of that. So that would make that a manageable polling location.
Is that what you're gonna do, Nancy?
That's what the board is going to tell me if that's what I'm going to do. I can't make that decision. That's a Board of Canvas decision.
But that's your advice to the board.
That's my recommendation to the board and it's.
Whose plan is that? Yours or the board election?
It was fine.
Paul, you want to make
Huh?
the motion?
It was mine.
Okay, good. I like it.
I make a motion that we follow through on Nancy's suggestion
Yes,
and place District 3 at Ranger along with 4 of the 5.
Second,
okay. Okay, all those in favor?
Good. I think that's going to be a good move. It's going to keep everything kind of.
Thank you, Nancy. What are you leaving us
Instead
for?
Nancy, question. You mentioned that District 3 itself doesn't go to Boogamarsh, right?
No, 5 picks up over there
Picks up and that goes to Boogamarsh.
and that
Yeah.
goes to Boogamarsh. So you'd be taking that whole area and putting it with our strip 4 that goes down here. But here's the interesting part to this, which some of this I just caught on to today. I had heard him talking about it, but I just caught on today. And that is that when we consolidate the polls, we're not combining the districts.
No.
consolidating the vote.
However, you are, when you walk in, it doesn't matter what district you're in, you're going to the same supervisor, giving them your name, saying, I'm District 3304, or maybe I don't even know what district I'm in, they're telling me. They put the name in, it says you're 3304. So they're gonna say, okay, 3304. Behind the supervisors are another supervisor called the ballot supervisor. And I guess they tested this in the primary in some of the cities. They're gonna get up, come over to that person and say, you want a ballot, the supervisor's gonna turn around and say, I need a 3304 ballot. They're gonna come up, hand me a 3304 ballot and say, would you repeat the ballot number, which is in the corner, of course, of each ballot? You are 3304? Yes. Okay, here's your ballot. Now, I said to Steve, that's gonna slow down the
Yeah.
process.
And what's the point of
Because you
that?
can only do that one by one. And he said they understand that might slow it down a little bit. What I thought we could do, and we can discuss this in other meetings, but what I thought we could do is maybe instead of, we wouldn't just have one ballot supervisor, but 2, so that one works off these 2 supervisors and one works off these 2. So you're continually keeping 2 going instead of 1.
But what's the point?
Because they've got to get their own ballot. The
Yeah.
DS 200 is going to take all of them in.
Yeah.
So you only need 1 moderator, you only need 1 clerk, and you can put more supervisors in there to try to move you through faster.
Yeah, but-
Because the ballot takes a little longer to mark.
Right.
It's not just, do you want this budget? It's, here's 16 council
Yeah,
people,
right,
pick
yeah.
7. Here's school committee people to pick. Here's
Town clerk.
a town clerk, here's a town sergeant, here's a treasurer, here's a judge of probate. Here's, there's a lot, luckily, well, I don't know if it's luck or not, but we don't have any local questions. And the state does not have their bond issues on. So you're not going to be bogged down with that, but there are state reps, state senators, and president. So it's not like you're going to run in, check, I want this budget or I want this budget. It's going to take
But
you.
how
a little-
does that supervisor, given this people the ballot, how does that hurry it up?
That's how you are consolidating
Yeah.
polls. You're using a new, You're using a different method of getting everything through.
But you're making sure that the right person from the right
Right.
district
Yeah.
Gets the right ballot. And they use this, I
So-
guess. We didn't need it, but they did use it at the primaries.
So are we gonna have training for the moderators and the clerks?
Yes,
On
there's
this?
mandatory, yes, there's training for all this,
Yeah.
yes. And like I say, I didn't understand it the way
Yeah.
he was saying, because we did not use it in the primary. We
Right.
didn't need it. We only had that one primary. We didn't have a problem with this, but other communities did, and he said
Yeah.
it worked out well. I think it might slow it down a little, but we're gonna overcompensate by more people. And in fact, even we had talked today, if we have to take shifts down there 2 hours at a time, just making sure lines don't back up or anything, because it is true, you back up, it's hard to catch up. So we'll do what we can, but anyway, that was a point that I thought you should know. We'll talk more about it as
Yeah.
meetings go on, but this was the best we could do that way. And they seem to be approving it. Now, I did say to them, when you do this, we don't have the luxury of time now because,
Right.
next week's October, we normally send out little postcards if you've changed your district, like if we change your
Yeah.
polling location and say you're no longer gonna vote at Amicable from now on, you're gonna vote at the high school. We send you a little postcard to do that. It's gonna be very difficult to get all this out.
I'd say
But
impossible.
We're going to, no, it's not. We're going to try our best to get a letter out. We don't have postcards to send out, to get a letter out to the residents of 3303 and 3305, because they're the only ones that are in Strange or,
Okay,
and we'll try to get it out and we'll draft up a letter that says for this election only, that you will be voting at the location you're going to vote at. Now, it was brought to my attention while we were doing that by Kathy and Jeannie that, we've gotten a lot of these because we had to hold up the DMV changes and all this stuff and all these new registrations. We send them out a letter that says, okay, you're in District 4 and your polling place is Ranger School. But it also says, Kathy, that
It says this is your assigned place, but you could be reassigned, and before the election, you should be checking the newspapers, going on that vote.ri.gov,
okay.
yeah,
and going on our website to make sure that you have not been moved
Mhm.
for this election. So it does explain it, but it's still,
I think we need the letter to compensate. I'll put the postage, try to get the postage into that grant. Okay, I don't, and I will not, I don't think it's necessary if you mailed for a mail ballot application to send you that you gotta go to Ranger Go. So I wouldn't send to those, but I would send to, we can make a list of those, so we don't waste postage.
Yeah.
But I think at least, and 5 only has 460 some. So, and 66 of them have already applied for mail ballot. Some are gonna come and do emergency voting.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I'm trying to minimize the cost to this, but at the same time, it is still gonna be confusing to some. We're gonna get phone calls and we expect that.
Oh, yeah.
But the alternative is you are going to have 7 polls open and you're gonna be short-staffed
Yeah.
Yeah. no.
and then you've got a problem. I'd like to try to get through this without a major
Mhm.
issue going on.
Honestly, Nancy, how much of a turnout you predict?
Well, what I thought is not necessarily what the Board of Election thinks, and I
Yeah.
have to, I have to listen to their recommendations. They got,
I mean,
because they said there's only 18% so far that have
Mhm.
gotten, requested mail ballot application. He says he's got like 100 and some thousand, which they thought they'd have more than that. So I don't know. Are people waiting to the last minute or whatever? Are people thinking because emergency voting, you can just walk in and vote? Why would I? Because the Board of Election is telling us, you better get more help in there because come October 14th, you're gonna be busy.
Mm.
So I don't know, the expectations are all over the place.
Yeah.
For the emergency voting starting the 14th, do people have to make an appointment to come in or can they just come in and vote?
They can just come in and vote,
That's what I thought, okay.
just like these last 3 days and just like for the
Yeah.
primary.
That's what I thought.
Those
Okay.
doors are open 20 days before
Yeah.
and they stay open. We have people right at the desk there and the clerk's office backs them up.
Second, has there been any thought or discussion of reaching out to the high school students to see if they're interested in being trained as poll workers or greeters, and that way we can get some and,
We will contact the school.
right,
We, we could only get the primary, the FTR, and this is all blending in.
Yeah.
So we
Exactly.
talked about it today because I was approached by a couple of college kids that were willing to do it.
okay, good.
And I have to contact them. But we haven't been able to put full force into this yet because we can only take it a step,
So that is a thought for the general election.
Right.
to reach out. Okay, good.
right? Because like already they have that 2,351 mail ballot applications just for this
Right.
November election.
Right.
I mean, you gotta go in, you gotta
Yeah.
verify it and all, it takes a little bit.
You gotta have some people wiping down and all this other stuff.
And everybody that
Yeah.
comes in to vote, we wipe it all
Yeah.
down.
Right.
So,
Those little things of individual sanitizers was a nice idea.
I had ordered those for the presidential preference.
Mm.
And by mistake, I ordered twice what I thought I ordered.
Well, it was.
I must have ordered 2 cases instead of 1. But I used them then, we used them at the primary, we got them today for the FTR, and I got enough to do for the,
Good.
yes, somehow it was when it was first coming out, and
Mhm.
I don't know, I probably thought, hoarding, I don't know. But I did do that. Just like these,
what was you drinking?
I don't know how I ended up with 2 boxes, but it's worked out perfect. I
Yeah.
didn't have to go reorder. I
Yeah.
got them.
Dumb luck. is
I
what
have
say.
3 more. She must have taken the one today out of there. And I have 3 more, which will work out just perfect for the general
Okay.
election. So they come 200 in
Yeah.
a box and they're a gel sanitizer. And if you
Oh.
put them by the door for the presidential preference, we put them by the door going out and then people could
Mhm.
like the hands. But just like these shields, sneeze guards,
Oh, yeah.
I only have so many of them and they're $200 and some a piece. I didn't want to, but with this grant, I'm going to put in for more. So,
Nancy, just a question. This map is pretty good.
yeah,
But it's a little confusing in one area, maybe you can elaborate. It's not important, it's just my own knowledge. 3305.
No, please.
You haven't heard the history on that one?
No, where does that take you? I mean, I don't see the yellow lines around
Yeah.
it or anything.
3305,
Just that? What do they got, like 17 people that live there? or something?
464,
That many, huh?
because that includes Sandy Woods.
I see,
Oh, I see.
I see.
But Nancy, tell him how that got there. Wasn't there some guy that
I
wanted
don't
to?
know. I don't know how it got there.
No,
I thought some guy
But
wanted his
I don't know, but
neighbor-
anyway,
Yeah.
So on this map-
uh-huh.
when we do this coming year,
so that
21, they're gonna do a redistricting, because after the
Yeah.
census, they do the redistricting. Jim Grace. And he comes down and whoever was here the last time, they do PowerPoint. Okay, I need 14 more voters. We'll take these 3 houses and, it divides it up. You need to we tried this last year, but they weren't ready to do it. That's how we ended up with District 4 and a 3rd senator in a small town
Yeah.
like Tiverton.
Well, state legislature.
Even though I'm
pushed
on his
that.
committee, it's
That
okay.
is crazy, but
So that little area, we tried to get rid of it the last time. We need to really be forceful to try to get rid of it this time.
Depends on your state legislators mostly.
Huh?
Would it become part of 3 if you got rid of it?
Well, it depends on how much growth, because today, see, when I was talking to Steve Taylor about 1, 2, and 3, I went back to 2016 and tallied how many votes came in through those. But he told me we have 700 and some more voters in that area than we had in 2016.
Wow.
In North Tiverton, including 3303.
Wait till they get
So,
all those houses.
It
built.
depends how many new registered people there are, and that's how they divvy up the districts. But it's all done through the State House, Paul.
Now tell me this, your most populous district, would that be one? Because
One has 5,200 and, no, I'm sorry. One has 2,540 registered voters. And two, which is this side of Main Road, has 2,731. So I would say that area is the most popular, for registered voters, most populated.
District two.
Two.
In the whole town,
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, it goes 2, then it goes 6, then it goes 1, then it goes 4, then it goes 7,
Then 3, then 5, of course.
then 3, then 5. 3 has 1,501. 5 only has 464.
Oh, that many in 3, huh?
Well, you got Country View, that's got 300 and some people there, or 400 people there. You know, there's certain little clusters
Yeah.
that
Well, you got the senior housing there too.
you got
Yeah.
Hancock, because that's only got what, 60 some people?
Uh,
How many does Hancock Estates have?
I think it's 57 or something. like that.
57.
It's it, 57 people in a whole.
A lot of people are alone.
Yeah. A lot of women.
But now for South Tiverton, we have that District 6.
Yeah.
Which is, but if you look at your map, District 6 goes this way and down.
Mhm.
7 is around Amicable.
Right.
7's not that big. It's got 1,692.
Yeah.
It's not much bigger than 3. That's where you live, Bob.
I think they, thank you. I think that all of the districts, they was trying to get it something like 1,500 to 2,000 each district. The way they was talking
Yeah,
the
but
last
you
time we seen
can't
them.
cut off, like you
Yeah.
gotta use the highway. They have to use markers in between
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Boogamosh Road was a divider.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I remember well.
So anyway, that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to get letters out to, I'm sure we won't reach everybody, but we'll
But
try to
you
do
could
what
knock
we
at
can.
their door and you still wouldn't get everybody. So I
Well,
wouldn't
but we
worry.
know we gotta put signs where there's no voting. And we're gonna put ads in the paper, in the Times every week that say there will be no voting at Amicable Church and no voting at Country View.
And no voting at Picasset School.
And no voting at Picasset School. Good for you. I didn't even think of that.
They just-
Well, that's
so-
what everybody in the
yeah,
village, they are
so-
used to going to Picasset School.
But
now
whenever they have merged, see, 1 and 2 have merged for every primary and stuff, so they're used to that.
Mhm,
And 6 and 7 have merged at that high school plenty of times.
mhm.
Yeah.
They're kind of used to it. I don't
Yeah.
expect to get big complaints there. But, and 4 is naturally a Ranger, and 4 is the bigger one, because 4 has 1,800 and some. So that small 5 and 3, which has 1,501. So when I take out the mail ballot one,
Mhm.
I'm gonna see what we can do, the cheapest way we can get the notice
It's a
out.
crapshoot no matter what you do.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna make, I'm not gonna make everybody happy, but I don't have to make everybody happy.
Will
I have
either
to
look
make sure
good
the
or
Board
look
of
bad.
Canvas is in agreement,
And
that's
keep the
it.
Republicans happy.
But if the Board of Canvas says it's a go, it's a go.
I heard that.
All right, go ahead, Bob. We ready to? Everything's been signed and we have the motion already for the certification? The minutes, we know are on the
Yeah.
next one.
Uh,
Okay, so,
September the 24th, we had the minutes.
no, we continued that this morning
Yeah.
because we
Okay,
canceled
I
that
got it
meeting.
here, yeah.
So we got to do a process for the mail ballots. So for this process, we have a DS 200 just for the mail ballots.
Yeah.
This way we're gonna prove to it. We're gonna know which districts sent the mail ballots in. And have they been opened? No. So the envelopes aren't even open. So I would suggest that the board go to the,
Motion.
the office where the DS 200 has been set. Kathy will open the envelope, but pull it out, and the Board of Canvas will open the ballot up, you know, because it's folded, and put it into the DS 200, okay? That'll be the system we'll use. And both Kathy and I will kind of supervise it. I mean, be there to monitor it. And I can take this in there with us. Okay?
Nancy, do you remember when you voted in town, but districts 1 through 6, and 1 at large?
Oh,
I remember when we had representatives from
Yeah.
each district.
Yeah.
I ran it large for a couple of times.
And 1 at large.
and that was any place?
You had to come from the district.
Yeah,
It had to come from the districts
Right.
1 through 6, and there was 1 at large.
Oh.
yeah.
So if I wanted to run for council and I lived in 4, I could only run in 4.
Oh, and 4, he might get beat. 5 and 6, it would be a landslide.
Right.
Win the election.
And he
Oh, you
knew
used to
it.
watch the machines too.
Yeah,
Which way you flip this way, you go that way?
yeah.
All right, you can leave your purse here. Nobody else is in the town hall. Sure. I'm gonna keep you on because we are. Oh, I'm muted.
You want me to feed?
Sure. Let's get the 3 main members there. Let me get this going here. I just wanted to.
It's quick, yeah. Quick.
Oh, am I on mute? Okay. All right, so we're in the clerk's office where the machine is.
You look at the count of 0, double count of 0, this is specifically for mail ballot?
Very good.
No, yeah,
The public count, is that what we're looking at?
yes.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready, Nancy.
You go ahead.
Whenever Kathy and you are ready. Deanna, you
Ready?
coming in?
Ready, Kathy?
Yep, go
I'll
ahead.
wait till Deanna gets here.
Bobby, you can get on the other side.
I can see it right here.
Oh, okay.
If he gets tired, you know.
Deanna, you're holding up the work. Where's Dee?
You can get on this side with us so they're not all bunched in.
What's that? Oh, okay, I'm gonna start. That's okay. Is that
Yeah.
Okay, without the other? You okay with that, Bob?
Yes, 'cause we got a quorum. so.
I got you.
Make sure it registers 1 when you put that in. Remember, these are folded, so they're a little harder.
Okay, I know what to do. Up to 2.
You can hand it to them right.
You want me
folded.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
and you can unfold it?
Sure.
Yeah.
This way nobody's seeing the ballot. That's easy. Want me to open the outer ones, Kath, or you'd
Yeah,
rather
you
handle it
can.
yourself?
No, you can if you want, that might be a little
I'm gonna
faster.
make it quicker.
Yeah. So far, so good? I don't hear any beeps.
So far,
Do you have another opener there? No.
I'm right here.
Feeling better now?
Better every day.
That's good.
I was actually nervous this morning with the cat on the chair with me that he was going to step on one of my incisions and that would not be good. That's 16 pounds of weight and that would hurt.
wow, big cat.
He's a big boy. Yeah,
These are empty.
that's the youngest I
All
have.
right, I'm gonna take it back. Just open the first envelope and hand it to you for the
Okay.
second.
And normally anytime I'm on Zoom, one of them jumps on with me.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I've had all three.
I have a granddaughter. That dog is super there every night.
all
He weighs
three.
80 pounds.
All three of my cats live with me. All three of them. I have a king size bed. I get 6 cats, they get 4.
Sunday, my youngest son was down there in the park. Crazy, but he's
Oh, yeah.
church here, right there. So I'm sitting
Are we supposed to be making sure that these are signed?
They don't have to be notarized.
They're funny.
there.
Yeah, actually, my friend Julie was
Are they
over for
signed?
dinner.
I was trying not to look at who it was, but I guess
But
maybe we have,
after the fact,
maybe we have to.
And
Yeah, but
so-
after the fact, you can't
Yeah.
get it back.
Standing
Um,
flat in her. Everyone's kind of small, this table off
oh,
her.
look at the also they won't sign.
So guys, you
And we can never
cannot,
come to your house. My husband is terribly allergic to cats. I
right,
mean, it's really, it was hard when we were getting apartments because you never knew. And the minute he walked into the house, they had
No,
cats.
yeah. Yeah, I have a few friends that can't cover because of that. I always go over there. But I was just telling them, that was with me this morning, and I get most worried about is he's putting stuff on one of my incisions.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's
Good.
16 pounds.
Okay.
Put these over
Oh,
here
wait.
because we've
Yeah,
done them.
yeah.
But he was good this morning, he was fine. He doesn't.
Uh,
No, no, he has no sense.
You don't have many, it's just counted, right?
Yeah, so.
You're having to get, where's the machine?
I'm gonna have to look at them.
Okay,
Didn't want to, but I'm gonna have to.
What's that mean?
Gotta check, make sure they're signed.
My dad likes his car.
Want me to just continue feeding them
My
in?
dad
Sure.
likes his car.
Oh,
He was checking out your car when we left. Yeah, he was like, oh.
naturally. I did become my very first car, I did the BMW red, these are my last car. Volkswagen
Okay.
red, and now I got.
No, I'm thinking I should take them out because I can check their sign but not see a ballot.
Okay,
Okay,
My first car
that
when we,
way I don't see the ballot.
all those registration license.
I remember that
It was
car.
my dad.
You were at the
yeah,
high
and you
school.
can check the signature as they come out.
That was my dad's car,
Yep.
that was my hand-me-down, yes. That car, last I knew, was still going at 250,000
So we have to
miles.
look here, make sure we got them all
Yeah,
empty.
that's right, you would remember that car.
There's nothing we can do to expedite
It's
this.
just this
Nancy?
way. If you want to come over to this side, I'll give you some.
Yeah, it's jumping right in.
Yeah, she didn't jump too high.
I can see it this time.
What I can help you.
All right, you can
Oh, boy, okay, hang on.
stand on that
Hold up.
side of me.
Unreliable mark.
And we opened them, out of the big envelope.
Mhm.
Okay, so does the board, look, it's unreadable, the
Want me to
mark,
try it again just
so.
in case?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
although
ahead.
if, try it and then you might have to override it. So when I pull it out of the big envelope, you're gonna check that it's signed.
Oh, okay,
Because if it's not signed,
we don't want it. And then who gets it next?
she's gonna get it, but we can pile up a few.
Okay.
But see, this way, nobody's seeing who it is
Mhm.
when
Do
they
you see
put
any
the
reason?
ballot
I
in.
mean, the marks all look fine to me.
Mhm.
They haven't double marked. and
No.
No,
Seems fine, doesn't it?
is there anything like around the odds?
Who does
No, I
that?
mean,
Okay.
We put that. We put the
They
label on the
didn't,
other
they
thing, they put
didn't
it.
bother with this one,
But
but
we just
everything
wanna
else
know
is
that it's
appropriate.
Yeah, I know, I was just
You
looking
wanna
at
take a look at it?
Okay, good, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so.
I don't wanna see,
Yeah, that's fine, they just can't do the budget itself, yeah.
Right.
and then they can go
So,
and get that and go right
So
here.
how do we override it?
All right, just leave that one out till the end.
I'll put that.
Oh, you must have done this before, you
Yes.
I used to work in a shop in Fall River. Stapling buckles and loops onto belts for women's dresses, piecework. Boom, 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 boom.
You get a penny a piece?
Believe me,
That's
I wouldn't
old
want
work ethics. That's where they come from.
Yeah, you just won't go through it.
Paul, how's it going, man?
Good. Very good.
All right, come in there. I think I was terrible. Oh, well, that one was out.
I know, it's just different. I have a hard time
Unreliable
with
marks.
different things. So.
Yeah, what I'm seeing on this one is some of the marks are outside the circle, but I mean, obviously, you could have somebody with a little carpal tunnel or arthritis, and that's gonna happen, so you wanna put that aside,
Yeah, I would put it
deal with
that
it
one.
later.
If it's not completely in that circle, then it'll spit it out.
That's the way it seems, yeah.
Yeah. You seem like check mark in that.
I'd put any of the problem ones aside
Got it.
and we'll
Yeah.
Has anybody
try it
else tried
again and
that?
see what
They put
happens at the
check
end.
mark in there?
I'm sure somebody did somewhere.
Good job there, Miss Vieta. You're doing a good job
Oh,
there.
yeah, here we go, little assembly line work.
That's right.
Oh, might as well be doing something here, huh?
There you go.
Making a big truck.
Get that.
He's been
More,
around all
some more.
day, all day. Yeah, poor thing.
Unreliable marks.
Never-
Again, some of the circles are not completely filled, these, sheet has left some blank, but I see nothing inappropriate, but we'll put it
I
aside.
think some that are blanks are getting picked out too.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the leave some blank.
Yeah, they're both on the,
Move your
There's
ballot.
no, I think there's no ballot on that one.
was it in the envelope? No, it's not sealed.
No.
I'm gonna double check
Usually
these.
ballot
and see what
really
I'm
is.
allowed.
Good.
You wouldn't have pulled the ballot out, would you?
Yeah.
But, and I'll check to make sure they didn't leave it in a,
A little temperamental today, I noticed.
Yeah.
You don't think I need to check them?
I'm gonna check them once all these are out.
Oh, what'd you say about the planning board?
I'm no longer on it.
I bet you
Thank God.
didn't cry, did you?
Whoa, my God. Dealing with those developers. Oh,
Did you have
yeah.
a- did you have a nice glass of wine when you,
Wasn't one.
bourbon, whiskey?
I thought I heard that when you said something over there. I
Nancy,
said,
here's another crazy
I've
one.
been thinking about you.
Oh, what? And those meetings used to go
And
sometimes.
was
at
in
midnight.
this
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of the
Oh.
envelope.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't
I think
mind,
we
but
can
a lot of
take
it
this
was
like
superfluous.
this, so. Is
Yeah.
it signed?
Superfluous.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think it's working at the law firm. in
Is
Middletown,
there
every
another
once
one
in a while
inside
they-
that envelope?
We
No,
represent
that's
some of
the-
those developers.
That's the envelope.
And,
I'm
and
holding them
it's
up
like,
for
oh,
the tab to
and I'm
make
like,
sure.
Yeah, there's none there.
that
yeah.
was just before, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Nancy, wasn't there some
Isn't
skull
it? I'm
buggery
like,
around five?
yeah.
Wasn't there some guy that wanted his neighbor to be in his district or something?
That one didn't pass.
That's what I know. Look at this whole batch for you, Kathy.
But,
Must have been a tweet.
I don't like that one.
unreadable
Unreadable
mark.
marks. Okay, we'll look at these. Oh, I see what happened. The
And
stray
nothing
marks
so
there.
much that-
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, they started
That
one and then did the
sensitive.
other.
There's another one too, right
Yeah.
there.
Try sending it upside down. That shouldn't be that sensitive.
Oh, it's being persnickety,
A
Nancy.
little bit, you know.
My word of the night, persnickety.
That's another budget.
Good, we actually, we all went and, voted. So actually, yeah, we gotta get to see our parents.
You got on Thursday night, you there?
We did not do this, we haven't done the past couple because of my surgery.
Yeah.
But we actually went to Palmer River Grill last night with Mom. The old-
This one will get kicked out, I'll bet.
the old country inn.
Yep.
Oh!
Check marks.
Oh, look at that, huh?
What-
I knew it.
See, we said,
Yeah.
I know it.
we knew there'd be at least
As
one.
soon as I saw that.
We knew there'd be at least one. So yes, we did that last night.
It says it when-
People don't always read directions.
No, they don't.
Well, that's what I said. You know, you could send them a letter, you could have someone go to
God,
their house, and they'd still not know what to do.
No.
But as long as you feel you've done what you could, made an honest effort
Yeah,
to not disenfranchise the voters.
oh, yeah.
Brian.
At least they came out to vote, so.
There were some people I swear got, driver's licenses out of Cracker Jack box, so this should not surprise anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly.
You gotta get after the ones that are on their phones too. I couldn't tell you how many phone calls I've had.
You're checking to see if they're signed,
Sign
right,
from
Leanna?
five
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's my job.
What's your
See
job?
if they're signed.
I was driving
here,
by the
right?
dollar
Yeah,
store there.
just here.
Yeah.
I was coming by where the dentist and then go some of the place.
Oh,
On the
yeah.
phone, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I laid on the horn and hit the slam on the brake.
She probably jumped and wasn't paying attention, unreadable marks.
I just was making
Uh,
sure.
Again, we're gonna have to look at a partially
There's
filled.
nothing in any of
Oh,
those. Can I have one of those?
You know, I really just
Oh,
have
that
like
one's, huh?
flashbacks,
Must have got to
taking
put it in.
SAT tests and stuff,
Oh,
with
Yeah.
those bubbles.
I took the PSAT, I think twice, and I said, I'm not doing the SAT.
Um,
I refused to do the SAT.
Well, now it's so different because.
Yeah.
Just remember, you're on a meeting here. You're being recorded here.
Okay.
Just remember,
It's,
remind
it's
us.
good to know, Nancy, it's good to be reminded.
Good for you. We're behaving over here.
Unreadable mark.
But now a lot of those tests are like, touch tests,
Touchpad.
so it's totally different from back then.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. The scan funds are going away now. Although some of the courses secret are, they still need scan fund sheets for the exams.
Okay.
That's that.
I know. Anthony, how many did you say we have?
84, is that what I said?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. That's good, we're at,
84, 86.
we're at 60. That's those few.
Now, this is a different number.
I voted today, it was 75
And
or
this is a different
78.
number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was in the 20s when I went today.
Wow.
How did we get that different number?
Maybe it was old ones and new ones?
Oh, yeah, old and new, maybe.
The assembly line method.
At least it's not the I Love Lucy assembly line.
Oh, the chocolates?
This
Yeah, that's
is-
great.
That is still one of the
That's great.
classics.
Oh, no, it's going.
That's still definitely one of the classics.
They ended up stuffing all the chocolate in their mouths because they couldn't.
That's
keep
what
up
I
with
would
it.
do.
Couldn't keep up with the assembly line.
I was joking, I should get surgery more often for the chocolates I got and the gift baskets I got. A friend of mine sent me a gift basket of chocolate, a gift basket of nuts and fruit, and 2 bottles of wine.
Hey,
That's a
I found
good friend. That is a good friend.
I We found out that it was good to have candy in your room because then the nurses always came to visit you.
Yeah, I was just there one night, so it didn't really,
There you go.
yeah, but just the one night, so it was. That. Then my friend was also smart and she knew I was recovering at my parents' house, so she sent everything to my parents' house. So my parents got to enjoy the gifts as well.
Taped it because it didn't seal well.
Yeah, we had a couple like
Yeah,
that.
oh, cute.
Right here, under his something with a ballot in it.
Oh, okay.
Just making sure all the envelopes
Yeah,
are
that's what I was
completely
wondering
empty.
over here, yeah.
I'm actually just opening up the
Fine.
line.
They usually
Not one.
Yeah,
the schools distance.
okay,
They've got barriers, plastic
Okay.
barriers hanging down from the bar. So
because I haven't been since I've reopened actually.
they've got the tables further apart
Okay,
and a lot of outside dining.
for now, that's gonna be changing soon.
Yeah, oh, yeah. The other thing you could do too is you could order a drink inside and bring it out to the Adirondack.
Good to know.
Lawn. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Think of how many people can be added
My
to
friend's daughter is hostessing at the boathouse,
Ah,
Avery.
That won't count through this.
No, but after that.
She likes working there.
Oh, I imagine it's a nice place to work.
Yeah. She was supposed to go off to college this year, but
Tough.
decided to take a gap year
Yeah, tough
instead
situation.
of risk it.
I
This
never
one is-
was
I think
one
there may
to
be
advise
Possibility
that,
there
but
was no ballot.
Uncle
in it,
Jim.
so it wasn't sealed or
Yeah,
anything.
a lot
Oh,
of students are doing that.
So we have 76, and how many didn't go through?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ah.
7 and 6, that's 8.
Seven.
And I got another one.
83, and that would be 84.
That might have been the one with the envelope that didn't have anything in it. All the envelopes are being checked to make sure they're empty.
All right, so I had one here that did not have a ballot in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
That's got to be it, because this is the envelope. Unfortunately, no return.
all right. This one's gonna get kicked out too, I'll bet you.
Okay.
How does it feel to get back to work?
No,
Okay,
Okay,
well,
'cause it's
well,
temporary.
We're not so- Did you go through?
We did them all?
Yeah.
well,
Wow.
that was the magic
Wait a minute, are
touch.
we moving to the number tab?
77, plus we have 7 that need to be done differently.
Does that balance the
80
number out?
84, Nancy? 84? Was that the
I
number?
don't remember 84.
I've got it
Where
written.
where is it on the?
I got it, it's written down up there, yeah.
I'll
Wait a
go,
minute,
I'll
let
see,
me
it's
just-
written, I have it written down too.
7.
Which would be the- Math was never my
I thought you
strong,
said 84.
math was never my strong suit, but I can do that one.
So we are doing what with these? I would try to put them in reverse, you know, you can put them in upside down and all,
Yeah,
Okay.
see if it's,
Try that one.
go in which way, upside down? Or,
yeah, I
Yeah,
would try
every
putting
which
it in
way.
both ways.
okay.
You know, let's give it, we can't do anything on a mail ballot if it doesn't go through, we have to.
84 is.
And
It's
so we
okay.
have 84.
It took one.
Yeah, so I would try to flip and see. I mean, it's gonna take all of them, look.
Yeah, it took that one.
Let's see if it takes the
Boy.
check mark
I
one.
don't know, this is the check mark one, I don't know about this. No,
No, that one's not.
okay, I'm gonna try upside down.
So it doesn't see it.
Give a message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unreadable marks.
That's all? No
Yeah.
options, though?
It's not gonna take that, it's gonna have to override there. Some
Yeah.
unreadable marks.
And that's all
And
check.
it's pretty obvious because the check marks are going right up into the wording.
And we had no provisional ballots, right?
Well, we haven't got the high school stuff back.
She didn't have.
These
any
are the mail.
allowed there.
We still have to close out that
Yeah.
DS 200 also.
Oh,
No.
hello. Here they come. Here they come to say good day. You need help, Jeannie? Oh, Christine, you need help?
Sometimes it's the crease in the fold of them as well.
Mhm.
Well, it took most of them anyway.
Really want myself.
Yeah,
Chris
take
can
them off.
go. Chris can go and help.
Yeah, I can't
Only
lift,
two of
I
them.
can't
What do
lift
you mean?
anything. I'm on lift restrictions, so,
All right.
Jeannie,
just
here
the
comes
two.
Chris.
so just
Okay,
those
so
two.
we
Just
have
those two.
two. I'm just gonna try, because the only thing wrong with this that I see is there's a little mark there,
Right.
which would be an overvote, wouldn't count it. There's none there. I mean, that looks like that should go through.
See if Nancy's got the touch.
No.
Nope, it doesn't want it. So just because I'm trying it each way, just to make
You're right,
sure,
no, that's
you
fine.
know, give them,
So what does it say down the bottom?
Unreadable
the
marks.
ballot was not passed because it's not able to read it. So unfortunately, that's one of the problems of this. If in fact we put the mail ballot in and it won't take it, we have no choice but to override it. Let's just try this one. One of the, sometimes it might be too the way they make the creases, it picks up.
That's the check mark one. I doubt that one will go through.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna go through.
No.
It just isn't. So we have two that are gonna, won't be able to count, so we
So
have.
we should have 82
They
there.
won't, can't?
I can't, you can't. I
Yeah.
can't
There's no
read
way
it.
to override the
All right.
Yeah,
system.
we don't hand do it.
So 82.
So there.
Because I might, no, somebody could change it. I
Right.
might.
Thank you, Chris.
Good job, Chris.
I just wanna, just 1 second, this is the mail, and I don't want somebody to not get their tax bill.
Oh, yes, right, yeah. uh-huh. Are you gonna sign that letter, part of the room?
I don't know.
All right,
Don't sign it.
No,
so how did
Wayne
this
thinks
go?
it's a setup.
Guys done with?
We're done with the mail ballot.
my initial reaction is not.
Yeah, but he said it's ridiculous. It's a typical legal strategy to set us up for something else.
Instead of
Then we have
leaving
no
that out
rights at all.
there, I'm just putting it in the cash drawer.
I don't know.
I'm just putting
Thank
it
you,
down.
Chris. You'll be rewarded in the hereafter. We just don't know what you're hearing.
How to vote?
It was a little, hey, there you go, there you go. You know you got my vote.
Because she's used to closing.
You got mine too,
For,
but I can't vote for you.
state issue.
In spirit.
So she's trying to get
I know
it
you're
down.
seven.
Kind of freaked out.
I am
Supposed to
too.
Deal with the modem.
Yeah, you're
the
70.
I'm
transmit.
70.
You're good.
I'm 70.
So,
70 District 1.
70
yeah,
districts
I mean, I think maybe on the
Yeah.
0 one.
I'm two, District 2.
at the VFW.
Yep.
Four,
It's only coming here. We don't need that much.
Good boy.
because I'm right
Yeah.
here,
Put
so
one on
I'm
the
four.
door,
You're
no
bored.
provision.
Yeah, no, I'm four. I just many,
Oh, okay.
just many.
So 81, we got 82 in mail, so that means just about as many people that went in person sent in by
That's what I
mail.
figured.
A few left, but the school today had 81, and we just put in 82
82.
mail ballots.
Okay.
2 don't go in, because they checked. And
Oh,
we could override it, though, right?
would that be a manual count?
We could manual count them.
The intention of the voter.
Yeah, why not? They're clear.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that's
it's
gonna
e-
be
we
up to
can-
the Board of Canvas. These 2. But yeah, so these are the 2 that the machine would not take because
A check.
they're
Yeah.
checked. So you can just, not count them. That's fine. We'll have 2 that were rejected. And I don't know if you think the intent of the voter was there and you want to count it as a
I
manual
think there's
vote.
no question that the intent was there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
clear. There's no attempted deception.
Yeah.
So if you want it as a manual count, we'll put it under a manual count. That's up to the board.
That would be, I would make that motion.
I'd agree.
All right, wait a minute, I gotta get my thing.
Where's Kelly?
Kelly asked if we needed her here, so she's like, oh, if you don't need me, I'm going home.
I was wanting to see what the sales were at Kohl's.
Oh, they're awesome.
Are they?
They're awesome.
I heard that they were.
I just got 6 dresses, a pair of pants, a pair of leggings, and a top for $118.
Whoa, 6 dresses? Whoa.
Okay, so Paul, you made that motion,
Make the motion that they be accepted.
both
Yes,
as manual count.
yes.
All of the favor?
Who seconded?
Oh, I did.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
So, the school stuff is in. Jeannie's gonna read off the numbers. You're gonna mark them on the. I am.
You are now.
I got a print.
Oh, okay, did we get a print from this yet? No.
Not
No.
yet.
Okay. Maybe I can sneak in there.
Don't tell me the budget passed.
I'm thinking it's a good possibility.
Yeah. I think. We dodged a bullet and we didn't put another bullet, did we? Oh. Well, there's no money in it, so what are we gonna do? It's- So where are you gonna have your party?
My family.
Party?
Just a small thing.
So you want to, you taking them down there or you want to? We have a sheet here, but there's some undervotes here. I don't know if I can keep track of the undervotes also.
No.
Okay.
I mean, what's the sense of the undervote? We don't usually track.
Jeannie, you want
the
to come?
undervote.
I'll read, you write.
Why don't you give me, well, I just want to make a copy of that so I can plug it in like, so we have to. copy.
You can have that. That's
Oh,
an
it's an
That's an
extra.
extra one. Okay. So I've got,
So this is the high school.
this is the high school. Budget committee's budget proposal. Approved 69. Undervote 12. We don't have
We don't
anything.
mark
We don't,
undervote.
they're undervote. Okay, so
What was the total?
81.
81. Okay.
Yep, so resolve number 1, we got 66 approve and 11 reject. And budget resolution number 2, 72 approve, 7 reject. Number 3, 71 approve, 9 reject. Number 4, 69 approve, 10 reject. Yeah. And number 5, 74 approve, 5 reject. Number 6, 71 approve, 9 reject. 7, 78 approve, and 2 rejected. Okay. So no manual counts, or are we
Yeah,
calling this a
two.
manual
Two.
count? So two manual count.
I can do up the manual count so they can get one number. We'll have to add a column
mail
to
ballot?
it.
Okay, so the manual ballot, mail ballots and manual counts were in the same category. So,
Oh, okay. So
but you'll
yeah,
you've got to review the votes.
okay. So why don't you give me those two manual ballots? I'll take them out there. You can run the tapes on these two.
Okay.
And this way the Board of Canvas can come out here and we'll
Count those, right?
count these. Yeah,
Taking this with you?
because they gotta run the tapes.
Yes, we're gonna count what?
We're gonna count these
Let's go.
votes on these
Okay,
two
so,
manual count ballots. So. Harris. So. For the manual count. We'll do it by one, and that way you can pass them around and so, I guess on the budget, tell me on the first one. Did vote for it?
No vote.
No vote, all right, 0 on the first.
Yeah.
How about on the second?
Approved,
Okay,
approved, and rest of them all approved.
all the resolutions on
Yeah.
that one are approved, 1
Yeah.
through 7?
Yeah.
Only
Have a
two.
hell of a time.
It's all right, it's
My
only 2,
thumb.
Bob. It's just a thick paper, it's only 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This thing jumps out now.
And bite you.
Yeah.
Can someone come back into the meeting?
No vote on one, the budget.
Because the host needs to let me in.
Oh. Andrew, can you let Andrea back in?
Got it.
Thank you.
Number two, one. The second one is approved. And approved on 2. Approved on 3. Approved on 4. Approved on 5. Reject on 6. And approved on 7.
Okay. So he's going to pass this around. And on the first one, it passed it checked off the budget and every resolve approved. On the second one, he did not mark the budget. He approved everything but rejected number 6.
And that's funny, that was Public Works.
Probably a public works.
Yeah.
Get out of my thought bubble.
So it's no ballot and reject 6
Mhm.
on the second one. It's a ballot and approval to all of them on the first. I'll give those numbers too.
The first one has no check for the budget.
Right,
Right,
Okay.
and it rejects number 6.
which is page 2.
No, the first one, yeah, both of them have no approval for the budget.
Both of them have no approval for the budget?
Correct.
All right, when you finish looking at it, Paul, I'll get it from Paul.
meet again on Tuesday at 4:00.
Huh?
We meet Tuesday at 4:00.
Yeah, I got two meetings
Okay,
at 4:00.
so Andrew Spencer, no budget approval on one, but it approves all the resolutions. No budget approval on two, and it rejects number 6. So that adds none. I'm gonna give this to her to add into the mail ballot numbers that we just,
Okay,
so this should make the 84. Yeah.
so doctor's appointments, Bob, or what?
Oh,
On Tuesday, the 29th. You said you have 3 meetings that day.
well, I got the trustee at 4:00.
Oh,
I got this at 4:00.
oh, Wayne said what happened to him, he joined the national VFW,
Yeah,
and then they sent it down to Newport, and Newport sent it to Bill Compton.
American Legion.
American Legion, yeah,
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
We're not having no meetings right now, probably not until
Well,
next year.
I don't think he wanted to join. I mean, I don't think he wanted to attend meetings. I just think he wanted to give
Yeah.
it some support.
Yeah. Does he belong to the VFW?
No,
Oh.
somebody needs to, huh?
Well, I got a
All right,
card,
so they're running off the tapes.
yeah,
They just ran off the tape in there. They're gonna bring us the tape and the count, but they added these separately, but in that column, okay? So it's a 0, it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. And that's what would be added to there, which is proving to our 84 count that we had 84.
Mhm.
We're all set there, that
Yay,
proves.
yay. You know who used to be in the VFW? Is that Parker?
yeah.
Guess it doesn't help you now, though, does it?
Now,
Well,
I'm all messed up here on my own figures.
right.
6 and 7 is high school.
Yeah, what I'll do is have her send you this little, we'll have this, we have a meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have her send, we'll do this little chart that Steve
how many,
sent
yeah,
us.
how many?
And then it'll show you exactly. But
Okay,
if you wanna know,
No, this here is for,
6 and 7
Yeah.
are together
yeah,
at the high school.
right.
And then 1 and 2 are together at the BFW. When I say together, I mean
yeah,
consolidated polling locations, not consolidated districts.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Not like on a primary where you can, even though they're the same representatives, but they're not allowing you to combine
Yeah, good.
Okay. 4 and 5 is in that Ranger.
3, 4, and 5.
Three places there?
Yep,
Mhm.
3,
That's what you
4,
just voted on.
and
For
5.
range.
The reason you can do that is because you have that
Yeah.
second level, that
Mhm.
ballot supervisor.
I don't
I'm going
understand
to have
that,
to spend some
I
time there
just want it down in
myself.
case, I know I'm gonna get asked, so, 100 times.
I don't know the difference between absentee and emergency.
In the FTR, we have an absentee ballot process. That's an FTR thing.
Oh,
It's absentee, you may not make it, but that's our process. But in the regular election, the emergency ballot time, when your mail ballot period ended, you went into an emergency ballot. What you used to do is come into the town hall,
right, okay.
say, oh, I just went in the hospital, I need somebody, or,
That makes
I
sense.
just
It's an
got called
emergency,
out
yeah.
to work, I
Right.
didn't know.
Mhm.
And it was always a different set of reasons, but then it changed to the same reasons, like might not be able to make it. So, but you would do that here at the town hall. We would hand you a ballot and in a private, for you to vote in private. We have booth set up,
Mhm.
and then you would fold it and put it in the envelope and give it back to us like that. We would not be able to see it or anything.
Okay,
That would be an emergency ballot.
okay. And so
But
that there's.
now they are making it an open process because of this pandemic.
Mhm.
People feel like if we have an open polling location and it has to be open, you can't have your doors locked. It's gotta be open. People are a bit nervous about going to a poll location that might be busy on election day. Might be a lot of people, might be a crowd, might be a line, whatever.
Bad
You know,
weather.
we look at things through our small town, but, you know, these rules are set up for everyone in these bigger cities. They have, you know, you see on the news and all lines out there.
And weather makes a big difference
Luckily,
too.
we haven't had that. Yeah, weather could make a difference. Or just if I'm elderly, I may not want to go to the,
What do you mean if?
I know, but I know.
Emergency and early voting are one and the same.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are one
okay,
and the
that-
same.
That was my point, yeah,
Just for the state one.
yeah,
That absentee one comes from on,
yeah, okay.
because we don't call it early voting for the FTR. It's not in the charter to have that. We call it absentee
Mm.
voting that the Board of Canvass has authority over. So that's why we call it this. We're very careful when we tell people for the FTR. We try to be careful,
Yeah,
but this emergency is just like an early voting.
I
And
gotta ask that
and it
question.
never was this, I think it was 10 days before you went into that. Now it's 20 days.
Mm.
And you can just walk in, vote, and they provide, what we didn't have before was the machines to put them in.
yeah, I remember that.
Now you can just dip it in the machine yourself, so nobody has to touch your ballot.
Mhm.
So that's the best part of it. Nobody's touching anything. You're going to a privacy booth, filling it out yourself, and you're putting it in the. So while that system goes on and something happens that it doesn't go through because you've got to overvote or something like this, you could void the ballot and get another one. You know, you can do a lot more when you're doing it live right through. Once you put it in a sealed envelope,
Right.
it's not, it's not gonna count. You know, our FTR does not follow Title 17 rules. That wouldn't be allowed,
Mhm.
but we're on the
Close enough, yeah.
FTR and we're trying to give the voter a chance. Doesn't follow the state Title 17 anyway.
I thought it was cute that that person or those people said it didn't glue good, so they put tape on it.
Yeah. Did that one go through?
Yeah, because there was nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
I mean, once we got it out of the, yeah, the ballot
Oh,
was
the
signed, it
ballot.
was just the envelope it was in.
But you know, it is a convenience for a lot of people. A lot of people are liking that.
Mhm.
That, you know, I can go to the town hall, I can,
Well, it's a
you know,
lot
we
of
have
work
all
for
those ballot boxes, they can drop the ballot box in if they don't want it. But you can walk in and in 5 minutes have voted and walk back out. You can't go anywhere else in the town hall. You can just go in this voting area.
you. Did you find something to put over the box outside?
Manny and Phil are taking care of that because they're going to, I think they were gonna try to have the senior
Yeah.
center do something about, it doesn't need it, it's supposed to be able to.
But I've seen some covers for grills that would be big enough to go over it. You can get them for $5 at Stop and Shop.
They talked
Yeah,
about that. That's
yeah.
tall and thin. I don't
Yeah.
know. But they did talk about that. If you can't get them to make something, they said
Mhm.
they'll just buy a
Yeah,
cheap plastic. Now, it's supposed to withstand the weather, but I just feel like
yeah, I think so too.
keep it nicer.
Mhm.
Because once the election is done, until they have the special election they talk about, there'll be no need for it. And it locks.
What
I-
special election?
The state
Oh,
has-
Constitutional Convention?
No, they haven't got bonds on this.
Oh,
They'll probably have a special election. Have you ever seen the state not have bonds? Not go out to bonds for higher education and this and that and the other, and the
poor
roads and
Gina,
the,
what would she do without the bonds?
we'll be asking Chris this stuff. Why do
Yeah.
we need this bond, Chris?
Mhm.
We all got your number, you know.
What's that?
We all have your number.
I know.
And we expect some reciprocity.
Well, I'll be.
Is that
I'll
quid
be
pro
there for
quo?
We all through.
Can we go home now? Nan?
No, she's got to give us the numbers before we can go home, so we get the totals. And then Tuesday's agenda is already set, but we'll probably have to have a quick meeting like on Friday to certify
Sorry.
No.
the FTR, because it's not on the agenda to certify tonight. And it's, oh, maybe we did put it on Tuesday's agenda. I don't know if Christine handled it.
I can't remember.
She
either.
does a lot of this stuff, and she does a good song.
She must be wore out by now, though.
She is, she didn't work tonight shift, but she worked this morning, and she gets here early.
Yeah.
Because I got in here about, oh, I don't know, the meeting was at 6:30, so I got here about, well, when you guys got here, about 6:15.
Mhm.
She had been here, set this up, turned the lights on, and was already back up to the high school.
Got the credit card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I used to do years ago. Now I'm like, I think they can handle it.
I
We're
can't
just
imagine
waiting for
you
the
person.
tapes.
So how much OJT you're gonna give this new person?
Of what? I'm sorry.
On the job training for this new town clerk?
Whatever they
Whoever he or She
want,
may be.
whatever they want. I won't step on anybody's toes, so.
Your battery is
Battery's
running
running
low.
low.
That's you did.
Isn't that the truth? Hey, I know that. I don't need you to tell me that.
I'll plug right into here.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to.
Alright.
Put it over here.
Okay.
She knows me.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
know me.
Oh. yes.
How's that?
There we go.
Seems like we're good to go. Oh. And you know, when you have to know that you gotta get up, because we're not used to an alarm. I was awake every hour on the hour last night.
Set your phone.
I have an alarm, it's just that, you know, you're waiting for that to ring. So
Well,
I
you
just
up here
kept waking up and
fixing
waking up.
phone doesn't make any difference.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
it.
Not me. I put my head on the pillow. Then I go to sleep.
Mhm.
Then the phone wakes me up.
You sound like Wayne, my God. When he was traveling, I worry about him because he'd go into the area where the waiting area and he'd fall asleep, sit down and fall asleep. I said, Wayne, you're gonna miss your plane someday. But usually someone, one of the flight attendants or somebody, the checkout person, should come and wake him up. Oh my, think about what it'd be like if he had to travel now, like he used to travel all over the world. He'd probably never get home. Oh, thank God, praise the Lord, huh? Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough flying
Comes
around.
like our
now.
big cruise, Mediterranean.
Yeah,
All I wanted to do was sleep when we got off.
oh, really?
And I couldn't sleep
Oh, you didn't say when you got
because I
home?
couldn't hear the noise.
Oh.
See me running,
Yeah.
fans
And allow you to
blowing.
sleep, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I didn't sleep good last night too. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, that's it, you know, and you know that you're gonna have to wake up and do miss
Yeah.
your alarm.
Go down at 7 o'clock at 5. So I was up at 4.
Gee, well, what I thought is this extra 6:30 was better. Last time we came at 6, we sat here for half an hour.
Yeah.
It was like, so it was better for me to come at 6:30. I didn't have to get up quite so early. I'm gonna go get
There's a
some
small
water. Can I
election.
get you something?
Huh?
I'm gonna get some water. You want me? you want me
No,
to
I'm
fill that up
fine.
for
I
you?
got a couple more.
Oh, okay.
I don't want my taxes to go up.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So mom has been for over 21 years. She finally was like, when she started to get the kids of her students, that's when she kind of drew the line. I'm done. But she didn't start till she was in her 40s. Me too. She's like, yeah, but that's a little bit more reality than she wanted, I think. How's the current job going?
Excellent.
Good.
Very good. Good. 'Cause I'm working from home. I've been working from home since the end of April.
Okay.
I go in one day, the rest of the time I work from home. Plus, I've got the type of job that you do from home,
Right.
unlike the caseworkers who have to deal with families. Kids, I don't, most of my stuff's on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I started at this firm literally the week before Florence started. So I work from home or April, started to go back May, 4 days, and then by like midnight in June, we were back in the office full time. And then when my surgery, these past 2 weeks, I was able to work from home. So that was good, I didn't miss a lot of work time by being able to work from home. I actually was only out 3 days from home. So that was really good.
Plus, in a lot of ways, somewhat, it's good, it gives flexibility. Plus, the other thing is that company, too, the company, the organization you work for, now you can check email anytime. You can jump in and say, oh, check my email. I was checking my email just 6 o'clock, I had some emails that I had to answer in the morning. Some of them, didn't know, 6:45.
Yeah, I've done that. Oh, yeah. I'll probably check tomorrow. So I know what to expect on Monday.
So the woman I emailed got back to me and said, it's amazing, at this time on a Friday, it's still working.
I did the most work for her. She had 7 real estate closings yesterday. She joked, she's like, I would probably be at the bar by 2. So I was last night to go to dinner tonight. So I had to end up having a margarita glass literally next to my face in the glass. So I sent her a picture, said, thinking of you.
Well, they've been selling places at the village like crazy. Have you seen this
The
4 or
real
5?
estate market is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yes.
Mhm.
Real estate agents can't keep inventories. As soon as they get it, it's gone.
I mean, it's a nice place to live, certainly, but some of the drawbacks, well, like,
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've
I
been
was
doing
looking into
real
that
estate deals
one
and
time, looking into real estate, getting a little extra money, and maybe consider it.
really nice
Yeah.
houses is like,
But I didn't know how with this virus, how it was gonna affect the real estate, but it sounds like they're going.
It really did, really did.
Well,
I have a friend in Florida, right on Ferrandino Beach, which is right out of, kind of by Jacksonville, not, I mean, by St. Augustine. And she said, you can't believe, I think she said it's 100 new people moved in last month from New York and Connecticut. They're worried to death it's gonna just change the whole complexion of Florida.
Well, you see, real estate prices is way up right now.
Mhm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
depending on what level you sell, obviously commercial.
There's no more, we don't have any public participation, nobody in. We can end the video because we're just sitting here waiting for somebody
Yeah.
to tally. So, why don't you adjourn the meeting? We have all our numbers, we have all our figures.
I
So-
make a motion, we adjourn the meeting at
Wait a
9:20.
minute. So,
Oh. I wanna go home.
Paul, we're gonna close out. She made a motion to adjourn, so we go to the second.
so
Okay,
No, I
all
made
those
the
in
motion, you
favor?
can so second.
Aye.